Well, the first thing we need to do is actually open some files. So here we have the two files that we were working on in the meeting. And I'm going to open them up. And first of all, they're actually open in Camera Raw because that's how I've got all my files set up. So I'm just going to highlight both and open them. And they will actually open as two files within Photoshop. Using the Move key, and whilst holding on to the Shift key, I'm going to grab hold of this long exposure photograph and drag it up onto the tab of the other photograph, bring it back down into the middle, keep hold of that Shift key, and then let go of the left key. And you'll notice that they are now layers within the same file. Okay. Now, if you highlight both layers and then you go up to this auto align icon, it will actually choose the first one and then click OK. This will then auto align both your layers. Now, if you hit the Command plus and keep going in, you will actually zoom in, and there was actually it was obvious that we needed to do something about it. So I'm now using the crop tool, and I'm just removing those edges where the auto align had actually said that they were ever so slightly out of alignment. And then I'm going to hit the Enter key or the Return key, and everything is now fine, all aligned. Now we don't need that other file, so we're going to delete it, and that's it. So now we're dealing with one file which has got both photographs in it, and we're now going to use a brush, because what we're going to do is we're going to mask out the long exposure blurred iceberg which is on this top layer. So I'm going to make a mask with the Create Mask, making sure now that the mask, as you can see there, is being made, and make sure that you choose the mask. We're going to go down here to the foreground background colour. If they're not black and white, use the D key to put them back to default, and we use the X key to toggle between the two. Okay, and we're going to have a nice soft brush, and then I'm going to make the brush a little bit bigger, and I'm now going to be painting with black, because black is going to conceal that long exposure blurred iceberg. So we're painting with black onto that white layer mask. Okay, because white is revealing all the long exposure, but we don't want that iceberg, so I am concealing the iceberg with black. Okay, now I'm going to zoom in, and I'm just going to go around a little bit more, and I'm actually going to make the brush a little bit smaller. I'm going to use the left bracket to make it smaller, because I see that we have some bits of this that need painting a little bit more to get a little bit more accurate. Now I've gone over there, so I'm now going to hit the X key and give myself the white brush, because I'm now revealing the long exposure photograph. Now again, back X back to black, and I'm going to be concealing it a little bit more, and I'm going to go all the way around this iceberg. And I'm going all the way around, as you can see, switching between black and white, using the X key, revealing, concealing, but mostly I am masking off, hiding the long exposure on the iceberg, and using the black brush I'm doing exactly that. When I want to if I go over, I have to switch back to white and do it that way. Okay, carrying on round, again, masking it out there, painting in black all the way along to conceal and hide the long exposure photograph. Okay, There we go. Because we're actually working on the long exposure photograph, if you remember, and I need to hide some of it so that we can see the photograph underneath. Okay, so I'm actually, it's almost like, well, a piece of acetate that you're drawing on really, and it's hiding part of that top layer so that the bottom layer, the normal shutter speed, is actually showing through. So what you can see when you actually are hiding this layer is you are allowing the layer, the contents of the layer underneath to actually come through. Because we are masking out, we are concealing parts of this layer. We're hiding it away. And back to black and conceal again so that we can actually see the layer underneath, which is the normal exposure, normal shutter speed. And if we hit Command and 0, that will take us back out again. And if we actually hit on the Alt key and click onto the mask, you can see there what we've actually done. We've drawn in black, and that is hiding away those parts of the long exposure. And what I'm doing now is I've just gone over the mask in black a bit because we'd missed a little bit, and I'm now going over the reveal bits in white because of not revealing quite all of it. And if we go back, hit on the mask again, and there we can see back to the photograph. And if we hit Shift and click on and off the mask, we can see the mask there. And what that mask is actually doing, as I say, is masking out part of that long exposure and allowing us to see underneath. Okay, now I've just deleted that mask and show you a different way. Again, using the mask key, but hit the Alt this time and it will have a black. So if you notice this time, the whole of that long exposure layer is actually concealed. It's still there, but it's concealed. So if we use a brush and this time have a white, painting white, just increasing the brush size there a little bit, now decreasing it using the right and left brackets, and we can now paint on white onto that mask and reveal the long exposure photograph now. Because what we're looking at is the photograph underneath, but we want to only have the parts from underneath being those icebergs, and also we can have the mountains, because we only want the icebergs, but as I said, the mountains are fine because they didn't move either. So if we actually Alt back again, and we can see switching on and off just how that is. Now I noticed there that horizon isn't very well, so left bracket key, square bracket that is, and let's just put that, just get that a little bit, and we're actually revealing the long exposure photograph, because if you remember we blacked it all out. So we've got from the long exposure photograph we've got the water and we've got the sky, and from the layer underneath, which is the normal shutter speed, we've got the mountains and we've got the iceberg, more importantly, a little bit there that I've missed. And switching again using the Shift key, on and off, we can actually see now that we've actually got the iceberg from that bottom photograph. Okay, hope that helps, and if not, just drop me a line and I'll see if I can help a bit more.